I tempted the universe and became foolhardy and arrogant. Welcome back to the Science Griffin, where curiosity meets creativity. This is part 3 of my RGB LED, or as some people on the internet have come to call it, ERGBLEDs. The PCB has 3 sliders. Those 3 sliders, one is for red, one is for green, one is for blue, which you probably already knew that, seeing as this is part 3 of the video. This is my first attempt at a topic, series, playlist, theme, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what to call it yet, for my channel. So any feedback, suggestions, whatever, greatly appreciated. I think that's a call to action. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But after some continuous forehead smacking and no does, no doys, dose, whatever you want to call it, I got a pretty satisfying result. I'll make this pretty short and sweet, to the point, seeing as you already watched 1 and 2. Hopefully, if not, go back and watch 1 and 2. Kind of different from this video, but it'll give you some context. So, the process. Step 1, print the prototype. Step 2, insert the prototype, or insert the PCB into the prototype. Step 3, find the flaws in the prototype. Step 4, make changes to the prototype. Step 5, print a new prototype. Lather, rinse, repeat. In case you didn't watch my Instagram reels or stories or TikToks, maybe, I don't know, still learning that stuff, which you totally should, right? Go subscribe at the Science Griffin or Science Griffin on TikTok. I'm nailing this call to action thing. I tempted the universe and I became foolhardy and arrogant.
Because here at Globo Gym, we're better than you!
I happened to mention to a friend that since I got my 3D printer, I had never had a clog or jam or any mishap, and I would just print and everything was good, great, grand.
Good, great, grand, wonderful!
Well, wouldn't you know it, the next day I had an issue where I had a major clog and just gumming up the works. My printer was then I guess assessed by me for one of the first really major troubleshooting things I ever had to do, and realized I burnt out my hot end and the nozzle was done and I had to order some new ones. Now, in my history of owning my printer, I kind of played it safe, right? I was scared to venture into any sort of more complicated prints and more complicated builds using the 3D printer or more complicated techniques, right? I was as scared as a pleb on his first day, right? I would download STLs and maybe tweak a couple settings, and then I would just hit print, right? I got some great prints. I made some gifts for people. I made some stuff to help me stay organized, some tools. It was great, but never really pushed myself. And, lo and behold, when you push yourself, you're going to make mistakes. And it was probably good that I made those mistakes, because then I got to troubleshoot and learn more about my printer. And yes, I'm learning more and also spending more money to fix said printer. But, it's like they say, you got to
risk it to get the biscuit. Aye, aye, my brother.
Biscuit being knowledge. My printer was bound to hit a speed bump or two. 2 hot ends, that is. Right, 2 hot, 2 ends. I had to Tokyo drift my way all the way over to the Snapmaker website and order a couple of new ones and some other stuff as well, right? Because you can't just buy one thing. But it took me a while to kind of realize that, I can't just sit still and do nothing. And I let my ADHD grab the reins, and I started about 7 different projects and worked on some old ones. Joanne Fabrics went out of business, and I decided to buy some stuff from there. And I got a Scatus board from IKEA, found some files, and went down a rabbit hole, and it was a whole thing. But luckily, the Postal Service is still working, and the package has now been delivered. The eagle has landed. The lobster's in the pot.
The lobster's in the pot. Devour! Devour!
Now I had to switch back from the laser module, which I had switched to originally to do stuff while the printer was out of commission. Well, let me tell you, having my printer here between a desk, a bookcase and my workbench thing here, wedged all that in between my lack of executive functioning. Filming in these tight spaces is more than difficult sometimes, and at the very best, just annoying. Anyway, I went back, I watched my old video because I've had so many interruptions. I felt like a mom trying to eat a hot meal and never actually getting to it. Just, I couldn't remember the specifics of anything that I was trying to fix for the, I guess, Mark III prototype of the enclosure. And so I had to do a little memory refresher. And I realized I had done a decent amount of work on Tinkercad and become kind of a boss. Right, I impressed myself with some of the strategies and felt pretty good. I went back, made the adjustments, was very proud of myself with all of my awesome skills, printed it, realized I extended things in the wrong direction, and had to go back to Tinkercad, print another one, and hopefully that will be the best one. I realigned the LEDs and the sliders within the enclosure to be centered, and then printed a new one. Voila. A perfect, almost usable enclosure for the PCB. So, as part of the redesign process, I want to just adjust the location of the RGB hole.
Did you call me?
I don't know if I'll actually do another one. This is just a practice of getting to learn YouTube and the mechanics of all this stuff. And maybe print it upside down so I can have a better finish on the surface, or maybe print some sort of brackets on it to attach it to other things. I would like to use it in some of these like Minecraft lamp light things that I have going on behind me. So you can just choose which color you want. You want to have some lapis or redstone or diamond, you can just slide those RGBs wherever you want, and mix and match those colors. In reality, the RGB slider, right, this little guy here, right, it works well. It does the job, and it is not needed for any of these Minecraft lamp projects that I have, or any other sort of light up enclosure things you want to use it for. It's just a little project and a little challenge for myself. And I learned a lot by doing this, right? I love learning by doing. I definitely worked on my soldering, right? This is a soldering practice little kit you can get. I learned about printing tolerances, printing thicknesses, right? Embedding lettering. I had issues with that. The filament print thickness as well as layer thickness, right? I learned some new techniques and strategies to manipulate shapes and stuff on Tinkercad, right? I pulled new muscles in my back trying to get into the enclosure, and yeah, a few other things. I thought I had figured out some of those already, especially the back muscles. But I'm happy with the outcome that I have of this enclosure, right? This is exactly what I wanted. And it kind of is just a proof of concept of taking real world dimensions and putting them into a very basic but awesome CAD software, right? I love Tinkercad. Again, not affiliated with them either. Just talking about products and tools that I like. And yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to a new project, or to maybe a variation of this project. I have a whole laundry list of them, but let me know if you want to see more stuff. Throw it down in the comments. I love making stuff. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time. You.